Welcome back to Theotokos on Tuesday of the second week of Advent. As the Annunciation comes to conclusion, the angel Gabriel shocks Mary with news that Elizabeth is pregnant in her old age. We can only imagine how this news would have affected Mary's heart, for she herself has just heard news of her own pregnancy, and now with this miraculous conception of John the Baptist in Elizabeth's womb, we can imagine how that would have affected Mary, the questions that would have raised. But certainly we know that Mary believed. Mary was certain that what the angel Gabriel had said was true. As Mary set out in haste for Judah, Mary was certain that Elizabeth was pregnant. Mary was certain that she herself was the chosen Theotokos. When Mary left Nazareth for Judah, she had no physical evidence. She couldn't see the physical signs of her own pregnancy, and as she is traveling to see Elizabeth, she hasn't even seen her yet. But Mary was certain. Once in Judah, Elizabeth greets Mary with rejoicing and proclaims Mary to be blessed, as she says, and blessed is she who believed that there would be a fulfillment of what the Lord had spoken to her. The expression that Elizabeth uses as she describes Mary, the Greek expression believed, denotes a certainty, an unquestioning conviction that has almost no need for evidence. It's almost as if God said it and Mary believed it. She was certain that it would come to be. Many of us have often asked God for help, and He loves it when we do. God loves it when we ask Him for help. However, once we ask, the answer may not come in our time frame. And oftentimes, the more that time passes and our prayer appears to be unfulfilled, doubt enters our mind. We may often wonder, did God really hear me? Or we may think, is God going to come through in His promise? In the Old Testament book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, God reminds us that His promise, quote unquote, still has its time, presses on to fulfillment, and will not disappoint. If it delays, wait for it. It will surely come, end quote. In other words, if God makes a promise, it's a promise. Although it may not unfold as quickly as we would like, it's still a promise that God has made. And we're invited to believe that God is faithful to His word. In fact, you and I should be certain. What about you? Have you asked God for help recently? And if so, how has God responded? What did God say in reply? Even if you're still waiting for the results, be patient and be certain that what God promised will come to be. And as you wait, wait with Mary. She was certain, and she's certain about you. So spend some time with her today and wait together. For your prayer today, I would encourage you to pray with the Old Testament prophet Isaiah. Certainly Mary would have been familiar with the Old Testament reference that I made to Habakkuk, but Mary would have really been familiar with Isaiah 55, which instills the confidence within he or she who waits that God's going to come through. So read Isaiah chapter 55. And then close your eyes. Use your spiritual senses and pray with Luke chapter 1 verse 45. Be with Elizabeth and Mary. See if you can visualize that scene. Elizabeth, an older woman, pregnant. Mary, a young woman, pregnant. They rejoice when they see each other. And then pray this prayer with me. Father, I ask to taste how personal your promises are for me. I beg you to reveal how you have always come through on your promises. God bless you.